if you've got a somewhat limited or constrained budget for your website, say 20K, then you've obviously got to pick and choose very carefully what you're going to spend that budget on, because you're not going to be able to afford the most highly designed, professionally developed, and well written and strategized website with UX best practice built in, because it will run to more than that. So you've got to think about priorities, and you've got to choose your investments wisely. One of the ways that you can make that budget work most effectively for you is to really constrain what site you want to build in the first place in terms of its scope and its scale and the sitemap, because it's really, really common to see website projects that have sections within them and pages within those sections that, truth be told, are of very little interest to your buyer when they visit your website. The number one offender in this case is pages that are on industry verticals, for your customer's vertical, or sectors or segments or other abstract, segmentation of your buyer, and to some extent personas as well. Data has shown that B2B website visitors are task oriented for the vast majority, and they do not engage highly or well with content that is aimed at them, about their role or about their industry. They are much more likely to seek and to click on and to consume content about your product, your solution, your services, and the things that you offer. And so if you've got a sitemap that includes a section on your product, great, a section on all the people that can buy from you, and a section on all the industries that you serve, then you've got 3 times the cost to potentially write, design, and build all that content, when only 1/3 of it is going to actually contribute significantly to the results that you see. So constrain yourself. Choose carefully what you need to build initially. You can always add to your website later if you so desire to build those sections, for your own other reasons, but they don't need to be there from day one. And that potentially means that you can have, higher quality copy, design, and development on fewer pages to get started with. Now, again, if you've got a constrained budget, then you probably want to be spending a proportion of it on really good copy creation, because without great, clear, concise copy, your website isn't going to drive the results that you need. And to some degree, strategy, because your website should be forming a part of a integrated, connected digital marketing strategy that's intended to rank well in SEO, receive visitors, from long tail searches, competitive short tail searches, from social media platforms, and so on. You might, you've got all sorts of requirements for your website that you need to satisfy in that regard. So you probably want a strategy exercise done in-house or externally, but at a cost nevertheless. You want great copy, and you might be fine with a templated site, or a site that has got limited unique design applied to it, in order to achieve your initial objectives and get you to the point where you have a larger budget to spend on a bespoke design that's got a really unique and memorable application of your brand, down the road. But that may not be what you need today in order to take you from where you are to where you want to be. A template site, or a quality framework that's with your style applied, could be more than enough to help you build a site that moves your traffic and high intent lead generation to a level where you can invest even more in the future. There will probably be somebody who will say they can do all of what we've discussed within that relatively small budget that we've mentioned, the 20K budget. And you will always find somebody who will offer to do that for you. The issue is, and we've seen it many, many times over, is that in the execution, I think you struggle to get the right standard across all of those important disciplines from that kind of spend. And it can hold you back, and it can set you further back in the journey than if you were to spend that smaller budget on fewer, more important aspects of the overall project. So as I was saying, if you take a templated site but you get really great copy created, that's probably going to give you better results than really mediocre stab at copy and design and development that, nevertheless sort of satisfies your requirements in one way or another, in terms of design or in terms of animation or in terms of interactivity or so on. Those things are going to be less impactful than the copy, than the strategy, than the UX, which you should really be investing in at that early stage. So yeah, be wary of people that will say they can do it all for your limited budget, because in truth that will bring down the standard of all, and not move you as far forward as you could if you really prioritized and carefully chose what you invest in.